So I got a question the other day. Gentleman saying, Antonio, I love your channel, love these videos on fragrances, but can you make it simple? What are the first 5 fragrances that you recommend I start with? Gents, this is a great question. As a guy that owns hundreds of fragrances, I can tell you it's confusing. And you don't want to go out there and buy a bunch of fragrances. They're all in the same family and smell alike. You want to have some options. So what I'm going to do is give you 5 options from different families. And within each of these options, I'm going to have a high price, I'm going to have a low price fragrance. So it doesn't matter what your budget is, I'm going to make it easy for you to buy your first fragrances. So the first fragrance I'm going to recommend, the one that you could start your collection with, would be an aquatic. We're talking about a fresh fragrance that's going to be at home during the summer, is fine in the spring, is fine in the fall. You could even pull it off in the winter, although we'll talk about why you should have another fragrance for that. But right here, Acqua. This is the classic aquatic fragrance and is still relevant today. Now this fragrance is versatile. You can wear it to the office, you can wear it out on a date, but this is a clean, safe fragrance that I think is solid for a blind buy. But if you happen to be in the store and you see that they've got the Profumo, try this one. It's going to be a little bit stronger, it's going to last longer, and I think is even better than the original. Now, if for some reason you feel the original is a bit dated, you want to go with something more modern, something new, then check out the Profundo. This just came out. It's amazing, beautiful. It's a little bit stronger in the aquatic, but this is a solid modern fragrance. Now, Acqua, no matter what kind you get, it can be expensive. We're talking about $100 a bottle. So if you're on a tighter budget, I want you to check out Davidoff's Cool Water. This one right here is a solid fragrance to start your collection with, and you can find this for under 20 bucks. Look around, discounters have it for even less. This is a classic, going back to the 1980s, but that doesn't mean that it's a dated fragrance. It's been compared to Green Irish Tweed, which is a very expensive Creed fragrance, and for a fraction of the price, you can get an amazing, fresh, clean smelling fragrance. Now this is going to be more aromatic than Acqua, but it's still got those aqua notes, and it is a solid fragrance to start your collection with. Another inexpensive aquatic, Nautica Voyage. If you're just starting your collection, you can't find the other two, you find this one on sale, which it usually is. You can find this incredibly cheap. Check it out. It's a solid fragrance to start the collection with. Next up on the list, gents, you want to have an Oriental Spicy, a warm fragrance that's going to be at home in the winter. Definitely could pull it off in the fall, maybe even the spring. Summer, maybe a cool night. This is going to be your go-to date fragrance. And the example I have right here is Dolce Gabbana's The One. So this has an amber base, and this is a solid fragrance. If you want to get cozy, you want to get close with somebody, they're going to love this fragrance. The ladies love this, and that's what this is about. This is a fragrance that isn't maybe going to be as versatile as the aquatic. You're not going to always want to pull this off to the office. You could, but you don't want to spray that much on. But this is something that's getting in close. This is going to be your heavier fragrance. Now, I admit, Dolce & Gabbana, The One, that is a very common fragrance. So if you want to try something that is a little bit less common, check out Armani Code. The classic here, you can check out the Profumo as well, or the Absolute. It's going to be a bit sweeter. But this is going to be sweeter than Dolce & Gabbana's The One, and it's oftentimes overlooked. Everyone looks at the other Armanis. The Code is still, in my opinion, one of the best fragrances out there, and a solid second fragrance to add to your collection. Now, what if you're on a tighter budget? You can't be spending $100 per bottle. Then here are some inexpensive options. We've got Obsession for Men by CK. Calvin Klein makes some good fragrances that are very affordable. And Obsession for Men is one of those amber-based fragrances that's going to be warmer, perfect for the winter. For me, I find it's a little bit too sweet for my taste, but if you like sweet fragrances, this is one you should try. Dunhill Custom for Men. I've talked about this one. It's one of my absolute fragrances. I think it's a great deal. It's going to have a little bit of a booze note along with that amber note. So if you don't like the booze, stay away from this one. But I personally love it, and it's a solid fragrance. Guys, if you've ever worn too much fragrance, choked somebody out on an elevator, and are now wanted for murder, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. Seriously, who hasn't been around that guy wearing way too much cologne? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The third fragrance to add to your collection, and in my opinion, every guy should own one of these, a classic barbershop scent. So this covers a wide range of different smells, but in general, we're talking lavender, we're talking talcum powder, we're talking really clean scents, aromatic scents. To start that off, let's talk about Creed Viking. So this one is a really misunderstood fragrance. For me, this is about the lavender, it's about the vetiver and the base, got some patchouli. This is a really nice fragrance. fragrance. If you go into this expecting something that's more old school, something more classic, you're going to absolutely love it, especially if you think of times what your dad would have worn. My dad wore Old Spice, and this is a much more refined version, or at least it's in the same family of Old Spice, but yeah, the cost is going to be much higher. So if you want something a little bit more affordable, go back to the classics. This one has been around for like 40, 50 years. Paco Rabanne's Pour Homme. What I love about this one is it's, besides being affordable, I mean, this was around when barbershops were much more prevalent, when you could walk in and get a haircut. And this right here just takes you back in time. It's a little bit more animalistic. I think that's the oak moss speaking, but it is a solid fragrance. If you've never tried it, if you see it out there and you've got the money, I would even give it a blind buy. And speaking of blind buying, that's why I love this category, because the fragrances are so darn cheap. Seriously, this is going to cost you less than 20 bucks, less than 20 bucks, not even that. British Sterling, Canoe, both of them classic barbershop scents that when you smell this, it's just going to take you back in time. And if you don't like it, I guess you spent, what, 15 bucks on an oversized paperweight. All right, gents, so really quick, if you haven't heard, I'm launching my own fragrance brand. I know, another YouTuber launching another fragrance brand. This one is going to be different. Why? Because I'm focused in on the science of smell. A few years back, I didn't wear any fragrances, but I kept finding all this research about how when you smell this certain note, you react this way. How this note can actually make you more attentive. This note can make you more focused. This one can help you to relax. And you look around, there's so many of you guys that want to, let's say, go to the gym consistently. You want to be committed. And how do you do that? How can fragrance help you? So because of that, because I started diving into all this research, I realized, wow, there needs to be a fragrance brand out there that explains all this and creates fragrances that can help you be more committed, maybe be more honorable, more courageous. Yes, guys, the honor, courage, commitment. I was in the Marine Corps, so these were our core values. Anyone in the Navy knows it as well. Army, you guys know this. Air Force, Coasties. Point being, anyone that has served for a purpose, a part of the military as a first responder, you guys know that there's bigger ideals we shoot for. And I was always disappointed with all these fragrances. They seem to just all focus in on sex appeal. Hey, I'm not a prude. I love sex. But when it comes down to it, what if you wanted to give a fragrance set as a gift? Or what if you want a fragrance set that when you wear this commitment, it's going to remind you that you've committed to waking up at 5 a.m. and stepping out and going to the gym? Can a fragrance, make you lift weights more? Not necessarily, but a fragrance can remind you, if you condition yourself, to be more committed. And that's what's interesting. So we're setting up these courses. I'm diving into the psychology, and my goal is to put out these fragrances that teach you about the science of scent so that they can maybe help you a small amount each day to condition yourself to be more courageous, to be more confident, to be more conditioned, to be committed to your goals so that you can go out there and become the man you know yourself to be. If this sounds remotely interesting, guys, check out the link down in the description of today's video. I'm going to link over to an early bird list where I'm sending email updates, a lot more information than I'm going into right here. But this is something that I'm passionate about. I'm excited because I really think that the market is open for disruption, being able to put out a fragrance or series of fragrances that really focus in on that science of scent and that you can condition yourself to become a better man. Sound interesting? Again, guys, check out the link down in the description. So the fourth fragrance I recommend you add to your collection is a citrus with a bit of floral. Right here, I've got a classic Eau Sauvage. This has been around, I believe, since '66. Classic, solid fragrance. Now, believe it or not, even though it's been around that long, because it's sold by Dior, relatively still pricey, but a solid fragrance nonetheless. If you're an older guy, if you're above the age of 30 and you want something that none of the young guys are wearing and is going to put you in the realm, I mean, this is what your grandfather rocked, and he picked up your hot grandmother, yeah, this is what you want to be wearing. Now, if you're looking for a modern classic, something that came out in the last decade, check out Versace's Man of Fresh. Again, a strong citrus. This is going to be perfect for summer, for the fall, for the spring. And in my opinion, this is one of the best smelling citrus fragrances out there, a solid add to your collection. Now, if you love the citrus, but you also want a little bit of floral, when I say a little bit, nothing overpowering, check out Dunhill Icon Racing. This is one of my favorite spring fragrances. You can pull it off in the summer as well. A solid fragrance that you can find for a steal if you look around. Seriously, if you want to save money on fragrances, wait till the end of this video. I'm going to link to another video in which I go into a lot of detail on how to always get the best deal. And speaking of an awesome deal, check out Lacoste's L1212. Absolutely love this fragrance. It is a great gym scent, very light. It's going to have a little bit of citrus, but also a little bit of floral, but it is a very light fragrance and is relatively inexpensive. And a lot of people complain, oh, it doesn't last that long. It's a citrus. That's just the way they are. And if you want it to last longer, then spray more on because it's such a cheap fragrance that you can afford to go out and buy another bottle. The fifth fragrance I would recommend you add to your collection is a Gourmand. As the name implies, these smell like some type of food, some type of drink, something usually sweet and intoxicating. So right here, we've got Black Phantom, caramel, chocolate, coffee. This thing is amazing by Kilian. Again, another Kilian fragrance, apple brandy. As the name implies, an apple brandy. And Kilian's done an amazing job. Love this house when it comes to high-end gourmands that smell amazing but are kind of pricey. Check out Kilian. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, check out the Mugler line. You can find them on discounters. And what I love about this is that they've got such a wide variety of options when it comes to if you want to smell like a chocolate mint cookie, which, believe it or not, women absolutely love. Crypto mint. If you just want to smell like chocolate, and yes, it's a bit synthetic, but you want a good clubbing scent that's had its heyday a while back, but still can pull in the ladies, check out the original Amen. If you want to smell like malt whiskey, if you want to smell like a Cuban cigar, Mugler has you covered. And let's not forget about Rocas Man. This makes you smell like an expensive latte. The ladies love it. They'll want to suck you right up. Now, gents, I know you got an opinion, and I know I left some of your favorites off this list. So let me know down in the comments, how did I mess up? What should I have added? So what video to watch next? How about your ultimate guide to buying fragrances online and saving money? So I put together this complete guide. I go into a lot of detail so that you can go out there and buy fragrances with confidence, because there are counterfeits out there. There are people that are trying to take advantage of you. And I make sure in this video that I take care of you and I show you exactly how to buy online so you always get the best deal.